Good morning, here is Kramer's Corner with a daily technical update on the 25th of July. And this morning we will start in Asia, in Hong Kong to be exact. The Hang Seng index jumped to 4% this morning and closed just below the cloud, as you can see here on the daily chart, and below the falling trend line. If we can get a close above the cloud above 19,500, there is a chance that it could make a break to the upside, but I would also like to see it breaking above the upper falling trend line here, and I would like to see RSI back above 60 before I may jump to any conclusion. It is still in a downtrend, as you can also see here on the weekly chart, forming this like falling wedge-like pattern. But let's talk about that when we get closer to a break in the US. Really not much to say. It was an uneventful day on the US market. We had the Nasdaq 100 testing the lower rising trend line there. S&P 500 a little bit higher, but the top and reversal pattern here is still in play, and there's still a divergence on RSI. So the jury's still out. Was this indeed a top and reversal, or can it actually break back higher? It's debatable, I would say. On the European markets, DAX is still trying to get above 16,210 resistance. Seems to be really key, and we don't have the RSI above 60. I want to see those two play out. We want to break above or close above both thresholds. On the Amsterdam, trying to move higher again. 781 is the key level to look out for. The Belgian markets testing 3,805 resistance level, likely to break higher. I did expect a little bit of a correction before moving higher, but let's see. It is a fairly strong uptrend indeed. CAC, CAC40, very interesting. It had broken above the resistance at the 74.04 level here, and but it can't. It seems like it has a problem struggling to follow through. For now, we have a bearish candle. We're opening higher, and they're selling through the first hour or so on the trading session, and I still don't have the RSI back above 60. I want both. I want to close above here, and I want to close above 64 for further upside. On the FX side, FX markets, I think we could see euro-dollar correcting down to 110, which is the 61.8 retracement, just around here, just above the lower rising trend line before moving higher. There's no divergence on the RSI, still showing bullish sentiment. So I think we will see a pickup after touching 110. More or less the same picture, of course. The inverse picture of the dollar index could get a little bit of a struggle at 101.25, but could spike up to 101.70-75 level here, which is the 618 retracement before resuming a downtrend. It's not a slam dunk that it will move up there, but it could potentially happen. Cable seems to have retraced what it should, I believe, 61.8 retracement of the last leg up here. I think we will see it slowly start resuming uptrend. However, it could dip down to the 786 retracement and test the medium-term rising trend line. That actually is the same here, as you can see on the weekly chart. It would not demolish the bullish picture. It needs to close below 125.90 before we are actually jeopardizing the overall uptrend. So I think we will see cable resuming uptrend here the next couple of days. On the euro sterling, interesting development. It couldn't really close above 86.60. And it seems now it's finally been rejected, which is quite interesting. Despite RSI was actually above 60, but it's not really convincing. And I think we could see euro sterling sliding back. So maybe this double bottom pattern couldn't really materialize. So we are. For now, this 88 level is currently out of question. It really needs to close above here and above the cloud before I would expect it to move higher. Dollar yen. I think in general, most yen pairs, they will be a little bit range bound here the next couple of days, taking a breather after the rebound to 61.8 retracement at 142 on the dollar yen. The same picture on euro yen, got rejected at 158, which was the previous peak here. A little breather, maybe down testing the lower rising trend line before next move up. If it breaks below the lower trend line, well, we can see a move down to around 152. And finally on sterling yen, also a little bit of breather here. I have to zoom out, sorry about that, because it's very small moves here. I think between 179 and 182 and a change here the next couple of days. I would expect that to be the trading range. Gold bouncing a little bit here at the 38.2 retracement, but there's still risk down to 1940, 1930, which is this 61.8 retracement before I think we will move higher. Bullish RSI, but if we move back above on the 60 threshold on the daily RSI, well, then I think we will see a move towards the 2000. So, but so it's a little bit up in the air at the moment. Will we have a larger correction down to around that, or will we jump back? Whereas we have when we are talking about the metals. We have a little bit of setback here in silver. It was expected. We could see it sliding back to around 24 before picking up. Excuse me. But we are in an uptrend, and there is room up to around 26 and a half resistance. Copper, quite interesting this morning. Moving higher. If we can close above the cloud and above the rising trend lines. The 200 moving here, the 55 turning around. Yes, I know we have the 100 moving lower, but I believe we will then be we will be resuming uptrend if we get also back above 60 here on the RSI, and it's already in a bullish sentiment. So it seems like it will start moving higher. Then of course there will be some resistance at these peaks here around 395 and 400. So a little bit of a resistance on the upside, but it looks fairly bullish for now. On the energy front, we have some interesting levels being tested. 83 on the Brent. Expect a little bit of a setback maybe. Let's remove that one. A little bit of a setback, but we are now in a confirmed uptrend on all fronts, higher highs and higher lows. And RSI in bullish territory. There should be room up to 87, 88 on the Brent, and we should see WTI, if it can break above the 79.20 level here, then there's room up to around 83, 30, 34. On the grains, wheat got rejected this morning here. It tried to move higher above previous peak at 784. But for now, at least, the day hasn't gone yet. For now, it has been rejected and seems to be moving lower. If it moves back below the 200 moving average, maybe we are back between 725, 750 level here. So it seems like there's some really strong interest, selling interest around this level here, just below 800. Finally, on the US 10-year Treasury yield, this bullish engulfing a couple of days ago, seems to be following through. And if we can get RSI back above 60, which I believe will happen in a couple of days, well, then we will most likely see US 10-year moving back towards 4% and possibly higher. All right, that's all for today. We'll be back tomorrow with some interesting news and on some of the big caps with their earnings release after market close today. Thank you very much and have a nice day.